What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know I just made one here a couple days ago, but I've had a bunch of people reaching out to me on Facebook and Instagram and stuff asking about the Degas bottle delete on the black truck here. And I just want to make, probably won't be a super long video, I just want to go over it real quick. I'll just make it its own video. And I'm just going to go over everything that I did, all the different stuff that's on the truck to make the setup the way I did it work. And I'll show you everything that we did. I'll throw some part numbers, some pictures in here. And if I can, I'll throw a picture and kind of where everything's apart right now. I'll try and do like show a picture and show the routing that I ran some of my hoses. But we'll walk back here and I'll show you some of the different parts and stuff that we did to make it work. And that's about it. But real quick, I know I do this every video. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking the videos. You all are so awesome. We hit 100 subscribers yesterday, depending on when this video goes up. So thank you so much for that. That is just so awesome. But let's get after it. All right, so we'll walk back here where I got all my stuff in the bed here. Go ahead and move this. And transmission arm, get that out the way. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start with your radiator. So you're going to have a Mishimoto radiator or aluminum radiator along those lines, whatever works. It just needs to be an aluminum radiator. Here is your actual filler neck that you're going to need. I'll throw your part number up in there. It's all this stuff's going to be from Vibrant. So all I have is Vibrant part numbers. So if you want to find something cheaper or something along those lines, you'll just have to do your own research on that. I'm just giving you Vibrant part numbers. So this is your filler neck and your cap. This will all be welded in. So if you do not know how to weld, you'll have to take it somewhere. But your cap here, this one is rated at the same PSI as your stock cap on your Degas bottle. So it'll be the exact same as if you were running a Degas bottle. So same pressure. This one's, I forget what PSI. I think it's like 16 PSI, something like that. So weld-in filler neck, cap from Vibrant. What I did was we actually had here, let me flip this around, actually come around here so it's easier for y'all to see. So we actually welded the nipple shut on the actual radiator that way, just to clean it up, make it look a little nicer. And then you can run your nipple here. You can run it down to an overflow tank, or you can just shoot it down on the ground. If you're going to be racing, I recommend that you get an overflow tank, just in case it seeps at all. That way you ain't got to get in trouble if it leaks onto the track. Put this back real quick. So there's your radiator setup. That's pretty much all you're going to need on your radiator. You do not have to weld that nipple off. Cut it off and weld it if you do not want to. You can put a cap on it. I just chose to do that to clean it up a little bit. But let's get into, if I can find my my oil cooler here. I'm pretty sure it's in here. Yeah, it's in here. Okay. All right, let's get into here. So here is my oil cooler right here. So here is what we did on the oil cooler. So this is also the way that I did this. I have an O-Dogs intake, so I didn't have to do any type of welding up on the intake manifold if you're going to run a stock intake manifold. I didn't have to do any of that. So your coolant is already rerouted and you have a freeze plug hammered into your front cover for an O-Dogs intake. So you don't have to worry about coolant going through it anymore. So that's the only advice I have. You'll have to go your own direction if you choose to keep your stock intake. But I'm just going to give you exactly how I did it. That way you don't get confused. So we ended up taking this part off right here. This is normally where your coolant would run through on your oil cooler and go back into your actual intake manifold. What I did was we hacked the nipple off right there, welded it shut, and then had a weld-in 8AN weld-in bung we welded onto this to redirect coolant. So the only reason you don't have to do that, the only reason I did that is because I knew that I could cleanly hide that line. I try hiding everything on my black truck. So you don't have to do that. You could probably leave this, hack that, and maybe weld your bung right there, but it might be a bit of a pain because that's a lot wider. But you can kind of do that, play with this and do it however you choose. That's just how I chose to do it. That's really just for cleanliness. So that's really all you're going to have to do on your oil cooler side. This is aluminum, so you will need to get an aluminum weld-in bung. Don't get steel. So there's your oil cooler side of it. That's really all you're going to have to do there. Put that back in there. And then we'll walk over here. Move this. Okay. So here is how I did your actual... Okay, so here is how I did my reroute. So with your Degas bottle no longer being there, you know, if you have an O-Dogs, you have to do this because it redirects coolant back over to a Y in the either heater core or your the lower overflow hose for the Degas bottle. So to get rid of that, what I did was, you could do this a little bit differently. I was going to weld in a bung on the front cover, but at the time I didn't feel like pulling the front cover off and, you know, trying to weld it. So what I did was, I've just got a piece of hose here that I put on the actual overflow nipple on the front cover. So where the lower hose drain off your Degas bottle goes down to the front cover. I took that. This is a 12AN pipe fitting right here. And not pipe fitting, it's 12AN. And then this is a female Y. You don't have to do this. I did it kind of differently. I was going to try and run the overflow bottle off of this nipple. That did not work. So I just have it capped right now. So you don't have to necessarily do it like this. You could do it a little differently. But then this goes to your actual nipple on your oil cooler. So, I tripped there. So I had it directed just like that. And I routed it up and put this part up underneath the O-Dog intake. So it was all nice and tucked away and you couldn't even see it. And that's another thing. The O-Dogs is quite a bit taller. So it gives you quite a bit more room to stuff things underneath it like that if you need to. So I don't know that that would fit on a stock intake manifold. That might be something you'll just have to experiment with. But that's really about the gist of that. And then we'll go over my overflow. I have an overflow can on mine. So what I did was, this is a Moroso catch can. It's really just for, I think it actually is designed for coolant, if I remember correctly. I just got a pepcock on the bottom to drain it if it ever does get anything in it. I haven't had any problems with it actually putting anything in this, but, you know, just in case, if you're going to be racing, I suggest you get one. And what I did was, I don't have AC or anything on my truck, so all of this is wide open. So what I did was, I just neatly tucked it right here. It comes with this nice bracket, and it tucks in real nice right there. And you just through bolted on the back there. And then I had this hose that ran up and come around like that and just went to the actual nipple on your bung on your radiator, on the actual filler neck. So that went to your nipple right here. So truck also doesn't have heat. So trying to think of the original routing on these things as far as heater core goes. So that might play into part. You know, you might have run into a little bit of trouble with getting rid of the heater core. My truck does not have heat, so your line back there might have to do something with that. You may not have to. You just have to play with it. But your cap, depending on where you put it, I know this is some Neanderthal shit right here, but it's probably gonna hit. I just haven't had time to actually cut this out, and we had a race when we got it finished up real quick, so I just beat that in. I don't suggest doing that. You know, spend some time, clean it up. I'll be fixing that here soon. What I would suggest if you put it right there is just, if you have an air saw, just come around, just cut you a nice hole right there. Or if you have a hole saw, you know, that just give it room where that way you ain't got to beat it, and the radiator neck, the filler cap can actually go up in the hood. On this right here, your actual Degas bottle bracket is just bolted right here. You will have to pull your wiper cowl here to get to it. Not a big deal. You'll get rid of that ugly tower that sits right here for the Degas bottle to bolt up to. Junk it. You won't need it no more. We'll go over it just one more time real quick. And so this is all of this stuff is 8AN. All the lines are 8AN. All your fittings, 90 to the actual oil cooler if you want to tuck it and hide it. This is just another 90 that comes down to your actual front cover part. So that rubber part, let's see if I can't show you. I ain't got a front cover around here either. Let's walk over here to this other truck right quick. Okay, so just right quick that I can show you. So my truck also has a early model front cover on it. So there is a difference in the front covers. Your 03 to 04.5s, your lower overflow hose comes down hard like this. On your late models, 05 to 07, it'll be just straight out. So the difference is on these covers, your actual overflow hose right here. This is the one that runs to your Degas bottle right now, up underneath it. Late models, these are bolt-in. You can actually pull these out, and I'm pretty sure you can just go and buy a. I actually think that Larry at SoCal Billet sells them. I may be mistaken on that. You just have to do a little bit of research. But that right there, you can get a bolt-in one that's already got a AN bung on it. So I can't remember if that's -10 or -12. But you can do that. I didn't do that just because I like my late model front cover just because the way this hose comes down, I think it looks cleaner. It doesn't come out way over here and then loop down. I think that looks better. That's just my personal opinion. But that's the front cover that's on my black truck. And like I said, I pretty much just have the same diameter hose right here, and I just cut it, and it's a press-in damn it, what the hell is that called? Like just a barbed fitting. Thank you. Anyway, so a barbed fitting that I pressed into this hose that is barbed on one end and then has 12AN on the other, or 10AN, I can't remember. And then I just had my Y. So your piece come down. That's another thing. If your truck still has a fuel bowl on it, you might not be able to smash that hose down in there. I had mine routed coming forward, and it went this direction and looped around the bowl and then come out underneath the intake manifold back here. And then I just tucked it real nice up here and tied it up. If you still have a fuel bowl, you're just going to have to play around with the way that you route coolant from your oil cooler back to the front cover. That's just the way that I did it. And let's see here. Yes, so that is another thing. This is your heater core line. This goes to the this right here. So like so, you will have to figure something out to do on that. I don't have any really good advice. You could probably just take this, if you did the Y down here like I did, you could probably retain heat. What I would recommend doing is you can either cut that back there, get a barbed fitting to 8AN or whatever it may be from there, splice it in right there, and then you'd have a nice braided hose that comes down to your Y. That's something that you could do. My truck just doesn't have it. It's gone. I deleted the heat. So all this is gone on my truck. But yeah, that is definitely something that you could do. Cut it back there. That way you ain't got this ugly hose right here. Put you a barbed fitting right there, and then run you a nice AN line down here to the Y like what I've got. So you'll just have to get on Vibrant and just mix and match your parts and stuff like that. But I will throw up the part numbers that I did use on my stuff. And if you want to copy that, you can. And then also, if you decide that you want to get rid of your heat, which, I mean, if you're not racing or something like that, I mean, I don't really recommend doing that. But what I did was, you can, if you get rid of that completely, you ain't got to worry about it no more. But this other one that comes over here, to completely get rid of this, you can take this out, and Larry also sells just a block off plate. It bolts up the same exact way. It's just a nice pretty piece of billet aluminum that you can put in right there, and then you are free to pull your heater core out. So just touching on that right quick, because it's something different that was done on my truck. But yeah. All right, so just one last time. So front cover piece right here, just a piece of hose, 2 clamps, a barbed to 12AN male, and then a 12 female to 12AN female to 8AN Y. And then this is just a cap. If you're going to retain heat, you can do what I said in the other video. And then 98AN over to your Weldon 8AN that goes on top of the oil cooler. And then that's really about all of it, peeps. You can mix and match this stuff however you feel comfortable doing it. This is all Vibrant parts, like I said. So your filler neck, you have to cut your hole, weld in your actual Weldon filler neck. This is your cap. I'll give you part number. That way you keep the same PSI as the stock cap is rated for. And then, like I said, you don't have to run a catch can, but if you're going to race, I recommend it. You can just run that to the ground or however you choose. Just however you feel comfortable doing it. It's not hard. Don't overthink it, and you'll be fine. That's really going to do it. Like I said, we do not have a fuel bowl, and we have an O-Dogs intake, so there's more room to hide that line right there. But I have full confidence in y'all that you can, if you do not have those things, you can hide that line however you want. That's just the way that I tucked it. Makes it easier. If you need to route it around a different way, just however you see fit. Just do what you feel comfortable doing. And then, like I said, you can go ahead and get rid of your bracket that's up here. Just pull your wiper cowl, pull your bolts out, and get it out of the way, and it cleans up the firewall. But that's really all that goes into it. I mean, it's not super hard. If you got a friend that can weld, or you can weld yourself, just remember to get aluminum fittings. All right, so here are the part numbers that I have. Some of them I don't have, so you'll just have to get online and look. Some of them are from different places. So filler neck and cap are going to be Vibrant part numbers. So you have, for your filler neck, 20980. Your cap is 20981. The Y that I have to go on the front cover is YMMF-XX. That's from raceflux.com. These are 2 different part numbers for 20-foot and 10-foot black nylon 8AN hose from Vibrant. If you're going to do the, you're going to retain heat, I would recommend getting the 20-foot hose. That way you've got enough left over. 10-foot gets pretty scarce when you start doing stuff like that. So your 20-foot hose part number is going to be 11978. 10-foot hose will be 11,968. And then your weld-on bung to go on top of the oil cooler is from Racetronics, and it's going to be a part number FIT-BUNGAL8JR. All right, so our last fitting, the one that actually the barb fitting that goes to the front cover with your hose, that's going to be it's not vibrant. I had a tough time finding that one. It's a 1-inch barb to 12 AN, and that's the last one that I don't have on my part list right there. And then that's really all you're going to need. And then a bunch of your 8AN 90s, and I didn't put any part numbers in there so that you can mix and match what you want to do there. But all those were vibrant, so the 90s, your straights, all that good stuff, that's pretty easy to find. You just got to look it up. So 8AN 90s and stuff like that. But that's really all I got for you. Yeah, just remember to get aluminum fittings, because all this stuff's aluminum. So when you weld it in, make sure it's all aluminum weld and stuff. Don't weld steel to aluminum. I'll throw pictures, part numbers up, and that's really going to do it for that video. Like I said, do whatever you feel comfortable doing. This is just how I did it. I'm just trying to help out. And if you have any other questions on stuff that's gone off the truck, I'll be more than happy to make videos on those. You just let me know in the comments what you want to see. We don't have glow plugs, no glow plug module, no nothing. All that's gone. No heat, no AC. The shroud up here, the ugly wire loom that's up here, that's gone. We got rid of it. So yeah, if you have any questions and want me to make any other videos on stuff that we've gotten rid of off the truck, I'll be more than happy to make them videos. Just let me know. But thank you so much for subscribing and watching the videos. I can't talk today. Y'all are awesome, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.